Hello, this is Anthony Manning, and welcome to My Journey to Kent. My traveller this time is Ogo Anokwuru, who studied film and drama with us and who now works at KMTV, Kent's very own hyperlocal TV station. Hi Ogo, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I wanted to start your journey with us by asking you to tell us a little bit about where you call home.
I'm from London, East London, Leighton. I'm from of Nigerian heritage. My parents are Nigerian, but I was born in London. So yeah, grew up in the streets of London. Went to school in different parts of London actually. Went to school, secondary school in East London, and college in North London. So yeah, just growing up in the city was a great experience and just great time.
And as we said, you studied drama and theatre at the University of Kent.
Yeah.
Is that something you always wanted to study when you were a child before you joined us?
So it was a bit of a journey to get there to the point of studying drama. Growing up, I was very much academics, like study and focus based. So yeah, doing academic stuff, not really anything creative. But then I think when I was in my college years, that's when I realized that I wanted to do drama and acting. I was into film, and so I would do extracurricular activities that were related to that. So when I was 17, I joined something called Into Film. I joined a charity called Get Into Film, which is a charity that helps young people get into film and give us opportunities. So we would go to like red carpet events, press junkets, and interview stars, learning about the film industry. And so it was just through stuff like that that I realized, that I wanted to work in the media. And it was only until after doing my A levels, I did things like history, psychology, and what was it? History, psychology, and economics, so nothing really creative. And it wasn't until I did my first year at University of Southampton and I realized that this isn't what I wanted to do. Like I was studying a theoretical film course and history, but I realized that this isn't what I wanted to do. Like I wanted to act, I wanted to do something practical, and so I dropped out. And then I was looking for universities or slash drama schools to go to, and then I stumbled across Kent's drama course, and 3 years later, here I
The
am.
rest is history. So you were talking about when you were thinking about going into kind of creative industries before you started studying, and you mentioned those red carpet events.
Yeah.
Which famous people did you interview?
Yeah, so really famous people actually. Amy Adams, I don't know if you know her.
Yeah.
Got to go to the BAFTAs, 2018 BAFTAs. That was amazing. Or was it 2017? It's quite a while ago. One of those two BAFTAs, and I got to interview stars on the red carpet. I saw Leonardo DiCaprio. I didn't get to interview him, but Riz Ahmed got to interview Taron Egerton, Eddie Redmayne, all lovely people.
Wow. So no wonder that was inspirational for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, it was just a dream come true, really.
Brilliant. And so you then you said you had this journey. One of your steps towards your higher education was then you went to one university and decided that you needed to change track to
Yeah.
follow what you really wanted to do. That must have been a quite a difficult decision.
It was really hard and really difficult. Going to uni is such a big thing, and to drop out is even a bigger thing. And so I was very apprehensive to drop out. But then I realized I was miserable with my course, and nobody wants to be miserable. Like you go from being happy
No,
to being miserable because you're studying something you don't want to study. And so I knew leaving was the right thing to do, and I'm so glad I did, because if I hadn't, I would just be stuck there doing what I would see my peers who were at drama schools or who are studying drama. They're getting the training and the education that I wanted, and so I knew that I had to leave. And yeah, I'm glad I made that decision.
brilliant. So we've seen kind of what inspired you before coming to university, and the kind of forks in the road. We all have those kind of unpredictable dimensions, but it's good that you had that kind of opportunity to change track and move back onto what you wanted to do. So now you're at the University of Kent. Tell us at that stage, tell us then about your experience when you joined us, and maybe what you learnt most from either being in a classroom or the broader experience that you had.
Yeah, so I remember it was really exciting starting uni because I was doing a course that I wanted to do drama, because I didn't have a basic understanding of drama before. Like I was saying, like I'd only ever done academics, so I was excited to learn. And yeah, it was just an exciting time, and not just the course, but just to be immersed within the whole like university culture. I would join societies, and because I had so much experience presenting and doing interviews, that was like the first place I ran into, the student media station here at Kent, and that's how I found my home in my first and second year, and doing that only led to like so many opportunities, which I'm sure we'll talk about later in the interview. But I would say like the biggest thing that I learned at Kent was two things really. Like, one being that you always have to pursue and you always have to do what makes you happy, and two, it's important to create opportunities for yourself. So like I said, like, of course, like the course has ups and downs, and there's great things you can learn from it, but at the same time, like, sometimes your degree isn't enough and you need to, you know, do other things, extracurricular activities, just things to put stuff on your CV. And so that's why I joined the student media station KTV, and through that, not only did I gain opportunities from working there, but I also created them for myself. So like, I would, you know, sign on to be a producer or sign on to be a director, and you know, we had the summer ball that happens every year, and so nobody was filming it, and I was like, guys, I want to film it, and I want to organize the interviews. And so that's how I don't know if you know Lady Leisha, she's a big UK rapper, you know, I organized that whole thing for me to interview her. So
Oh, wow.
yeah, so I think it's those two things I've learned, like, always pursue what makes you happy, and it's so important to create opportunities for yourself, especially whilst you're at university, because you don't want to graduate and almost like start afresh. Like, you want to graduate with something, you know, to show for yourself.
Brilliant. And you know, you've made it sound so easy because you're clearly a dynamic, go-getting kind of person, but I'm sure you must have faced some obstacles along the way. We've talked about your change of decision from the original university course you selected. What about other obstacles in your way?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, it might sound like, you know, that go getter, but there definitely was obstacles, let me tell you. And everyone goes through, you know, struggles and obstacles and human suffering, and so normal. But in my case, there was like a couple of things. So whether it's like, you know, housemate situations that you have to deal with during university in your second and third year, and that can affect your studies and also your extracurricular activities. That was something that I had to navigate through. And obviously, like, mental health, it affects people in different ways, and that was something that I struggled with a lot during at university. And I'm glad that I sort of overcome it, because the mental health struggles will sometimes prohibit me to doing stuff like KTV, but I'm so glad that I pushed through and I didn't let that stop me. So yeah, those were some of the obstacles that I had. And also there was times when I became like disenchanted. Is that a word? Disenchanted?
Yeah, absolutely.
About my course, because even though I was glad to be doing drama and glad to be there, there were times I was like, oh, I don't really like this module, I don't really like the assessment. But then even through that, I was still able to like push through. And
Yeah, how did you power through that situation then?
it's good to have friends that, you know, feel the same way as you do, that you can talk about, complain about, study with. So it's definitely important to have a support group. And also times when I felt like my course wasn't fulfilling me in the way I needed to, that's when I would go to the societies. For example, dance, like I would join dance society or do KTV, and so I can get the balance that way. So that was something that helped as well.
What would you say to someone who perhaps is not as outgoing about making that leap to join societies and get out there?
I would say do it. You have to do it. Just go out, go put yourself out there. You know, you have to do it. Yeah, it really helps. It's fun. You can meet so many people. You can meet your best friends, friends that you'll stay in contact with, you know, for the rest of your life. Yeah, it really, it can widen your CV. So there's no reason not to do it. Don't stay inside, even though you
Brilliant.
have to, because of, you know, the current situation. But yeah, just, it's a great opportunity.
Thank you. So we've been talking about a journey taking us from your home through to where you've been studying with us and some of those experiences that you've been having. I wanted to ask you now, either really or metaphorically, if you were packing your luggage, what would 3 items would you put in your luggage as essential items that have supported your journey or you think will support your journey in the future?
I think I can answer from both sides here, really and metaphorically. I would say really is music. Number one, music just gets me through like everything. Like, it can express how I feel, it can relate to my situation, and yeah, I can really find solace in music. So that's something that I would always take with me. In terms of metaphorically, I would say, I guess, positive mindsets, whether that's excitement, wonder, gratitude. And that's something that I learned actually on my course, that I need to continue to remind myself to take with me every day. So in physical theatre, before we would start rehearsal, we would stand in a circle and almost like speak into existence what we wanted to gain from this session. So we would all agree on 3 words. What do we want to gain out of today's session? Whether that's wonder or, you know, positivity or creation. And so we would speak that and almost like through an exercise, like delete what our current mindsets were, like whether we had any like worries or like anxieties. We would sort of like put that to the side and say, no, like I'm going to embrace wonder, excitement, XYZ.
Wow.
And so, yeah, that's
That sounds like an exercise in mindfulness. Is that
yeah,
something you're interested in?
yeah, exactly.
Great. So I think that's a good lesson for all of us. So then, you know, if we reflect on all those exciting things that you've done and the lessons that you've learned along the way so far, what would you say is the biggest life lesson that has come to you?
I would say definitely like you've got to pursue what makes you happy, and you've got to follow your heart and the things that light your heart on fire, because that's what it's all about. And like I never want to do something after going through that experience, you know, studying at another university, not enjoying it, and then coming to Kent and being grateful that I came to Kent, even though there were ups and downs. Like I've learned this concept that I need to always pursue what makes me happy, and then you'll always be happy. And that you can take with in any area of your life. It's not just, you know, university or what you study. Like could be about your friendships, could be about relationships, could be about job. Like always pursue what makes you happy.
Brilliant. And what is making you most happy at the moment then? I have to ask that question at that point.
I guess pursuing my hobbies, like my hobbies I really enjoy, whether that is music, so like singing, or like presenting. Like I have a YouTube channel, Ogo A, subscribe to me. So yeah, just pursuing my hobbies and the things that I enjoy, and yeah, that's what makes me happy.
You've been doing such a diversity of things. So you've talked about some of the things you're into there, but also you've been involved with some of the safety videos and pre-arrival videos for students in your capacity as a presenter on the TV side through KMTV. So I mean that's such a broad spectrum of things. So are you more towards the music side of things or the TV production? What would you reckon?
Well, the music thing's quite recent. Like it's only during lockdown that I've realised how important music is to me. And so, I mean, in the future, if I can be a singer, that would make my dreams come true. But I would say, yeah, I do like the presenting side, but I'll just see where life takes me. I have a lot of passions.
And I guess having your academic background and the professional experience that you've got through your extracurricular activity and your work now then gives you a good structure to support what you're doing, whatever direction you go in.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's so many things that I learned from drama, and that can definitely take, you know, in and apply in a lot of areas of my life.
So you've given us a broad recommendation of positivity in terms of drive towards engineering positive outcomes.
Yeah.
Are there any other recommendations you'd give to people following in your footsteps? I guess it's also about reflecting, if you could give advice to yourself at certain stages of your journey, what would you say to yourself or to other people having similar experiences?
I would say, if I can reflect and give advice to my first year self, I would just say enjoy the time at uni, because it goes by so quick. And before you know it, 3 years will go by and you would be a bit older and just graduate. And then it's like you're out in the working world. And it's like uni, although say what you want about uni, but I think it provides like just so many opportunities, facilities, resources, people from different backgrounds that you can communicate with that you might not necessarily get after you graduate, because once you graduate, like you just resort back to your old friendship circles. Whereas when you're in uni, like just so many people that you can meet. So I would just say just enjoy every single moment. And yes, there's going to be ups and downs in uni, but really enjoy the ups. Like there are going to be ups, and just really enjoy it, and just find a way to be grateful for something every single day, and don't downplay any, you know, opportunity. Like I remember I joined, I got accepted onto the Kent Dance competition squad, and that means we can tour around the UK and go to different competitions. And of course I enjoyed it in the moments, but I felt like when there were like down moments, I'd get really down about it. But then I'm thinking, girl, like that's such a good opportunity. Like the you in a year's time will wish that you could go back to that time.
Yeah.
So like whatever it is, like if you have a charity ball or if you have venue on Friday, like just really enjoy it, honestly.
Great, that's really positive. And so now you're in employment. You've moved on from your degree into a related field, which I guess in many respects for many people is a dream move, to go from your degree into a field you're passionate about. So I guess, what are you going to do from this point onwards? We've taken your journey towards the present. What about the future?
So yeah, I guess to continue to work at KMTV and see where that takes me. But I think in the future, I really want to again like work in TV and film. Like that's how it all started, with an interest in film. And if I could write my own TV show or write my own film one day and star in it, that would be a dream come true. But then there's so many things that I want to do, like we talked about, whether that's music, whether that's acting, content creation, presenting. So I guess the world's my oyster, and I'll just take what comes as it comes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ogo, for taking us on your journey to Kent. That's been brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.